Hi, this is CJ, and this is 316 Seconds. Let's go. One of my favorite books in the whole Bible is the book of Psalms. And so for a couple of episodes or more, I will be going through some of my favorite Psalms as we take a deep dive into some things I think God is going to teach us as we explore His Word together. In today's episode, we'll hone in on Psalms 27. The Lord is my light and my salvation, whom shall I fear? The Lord is the strength of my life, of whom shall I be afraid? When the wicked came against me to eat up my flesh, my enemies and foes, they stumbled and fell. Though an army may encamp against me, my heart shall not fear. Though war may rise against me, in this I will be confident. Those first three verses of the book of Psalms 27 are such a warm reminder that we truly have nothing to fear. The reason we don't have any fear is not because of something we've done for ourselves, but because the Lord is our light and He is our salvation. The psalmist in writing makes it clear that even though God is His light and His salvation, there are still people who have gathered up to eat His flesh, and He has enemies and foes. But He doesn't concern Himself with them. His focus is on the Lord, who is His light and His salvation. There might be somebody out there who thinks that people have ganged up against you. You think that situations have come up against you, and you turn your attention to them. Your focus should always remain on the Lord, who is your light and your salvation. He alone is the reason why when they come against you, they will stumble and they will fall. Regardless of the multitude of people who might rise up against you, regardless of the multiple situations that might come up against you. Verse 3 says, though an army may encamp against me, my heart shall not fear. I want to speak peace into somebody's heart this day. I want to encourage you that the Lord is on your side. He is your help, He is your light, and He is your salvation. Therefore, you have nothing to be afraid of. Verse 4 opens with something I think should be a constant prayer for every child of God. One thing I have desired of the Lord, that will I seek, that I may dwell in the house of the Lord all the days of my life, to behold the beauty of the Lord, and to inquire in His temple. For in the time of trouble He shall hide me in His pavilion. In the secret place of His tabernacle He shall hide me. He shall set me high upon a rock. So here is the psalmist who is encompassed around by trouble, who has unpaid bills, who has enemies, who has attackers, who has naysayers, who has financial troubles, who has health troubles. Name it, he has it. There is an army around him. But the one thing he concerns himself with is seeking the Lord. I cannot emphasize this enough. Our entire life should be about the continual pursuit of God. The same book of Psalms talks about it as the deer pants for water, so does my soul long after thee. Many of us think of the deer's thirst as just a regular thirst, but it's not. This is what it is. When a deer is thirsty and the deer can smell water, that deer, regardless of any barriers or any obstacles, it might be a wooden wall, it might be a rock, that deer will go through, go around, go under, do whatever it must. It will break down walls, it will jump over mountainsides to get to that water to quench its thirst. So here is the psalmist saying that I may have an army encamped around me, but the one thing that I desire the most of all is not even that you might save me, but that I might seek you, that I may dwell in the house of the Lord all the days of my life, to behold the beauty of our God and to inquire in His temple. There is nothing that beats inquiring of God in the time of trouble. But we must seek Him not just because we need an answer, but we seek Him because we want to gaze upon His beauty. Don't seek God because you want your problem solved. Seek God because of who God is. Don't just come for the hands of God, but come for the face of God, because that is where the solution to your problem lies. You might find the hand of God and not the face of God, but he who has the face of God always has the hands of God. Verse 6, and now my head shall be lifted up above my enemies all around me. Therefore I will offer sacrifices of joy in his tabernacle. I will sing, yes, I will sing praises to the Lord. See what has happened? At the beginning, he talks about the people who have gathered up against him. But in the middle, between verses 4 and 5, he tells us the solution. It is in seeking God. And in verse 6, we see the psalmist say, and now his head shall be lifted up above the enemies who are still all around him, but his perspective has changed. And now he offers a sacrifice of joy while in the midst of his enemies. Somebody needs to catch that revelation today. You need to seek God for himself, because when you do find him, even though things might not have changed yet, you're able to lift up your voice and offer a sacrifice of joy in his tabernacle. And that is my prayer for you, that you will find God, that you will pursue after him with all your heart. In Jesus' name.